Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Heed Army podcast. What a week it's been for Gateshead, top of the league. You might be able to see by Mickey's name on the bottom of your screen there. Absolutely fantastic. We're going to get into it all. We've got the media officer from Gateshead FC coming on, Jack McGragan. He's been doing some excellent work as ever. He just seems to get better and better. We'll go a bit of chat to him because obviously he's in and around the team and around the lads, and obviously there must be a fantastic atmosphere going on at the club at the moment. So we're going to be speaking to him. We're also going to have Ross, who was going to be with us last week, but he was ill with COVID. Thankfully, he's a lot better now, and we'll be talking to him about the Gateshead FC Foundation. And also as well, we'd like to, you might have seen, as I say, 1 second, I'll put this up. We do have the new website up and running, heedarmy.com. So have a little look there, have a little thing. It isn't finished yet. It's a work in progress, but we'll be adding to it over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll be putting a few bits and bobs on there and make it more engaging for people to come along and watch Gateshead. So heedarmy.com, get yourself there after the show, after the show. Also as well, while we're on a bit of housekeeping here, we'd like to wish a very happy birthday yesterday to Debbie Bailey. There she is. So happy birthday. I think she's 25.
Something like that, but she's lost a fish with a goldfish bowl. Did you notice?
I know. I was looking at that. That's a. I was going to say a man's drink, but I don't want to be derogatory. But that's a big drink.
That's a Debbie Bailey gin glass.
Is it? Wow. I tell you what, I wouldn't like to go drinking with Debbie Bailey. I'd be under the table. I'd just sniffing that.
It'd be easier just getting a repeal.
It would. So many happy returns to Debbie for yesterday as well. And today it is Carl Magny's birthday as well. So happy birthday, Carl Magny, 33 years young. And say back at the club for a second stint, and say back top of the league. Say not a bad way to come back to the club. So that is what we're talking about as well as we'll be talking about Hereford last week on Saturday, and also we'll be looking forward to Leamington on Saturday coming at home. And someone said Mickey's mic is quiet, so we may have to lean a little bit further forward into that Mickey to talk. And there we go. That's better. Hope that isn't your battery dying in your phone. But we've got a few messages. It is fully interactive, the podcast. You haven't been here before. It's all about Gateshead FC, of course. And I'm going to click on this message here. We've got one from Craig Hilton. Good evening, lads. How are you? What a result on Tuesday night. Top of the league. Get in. It certainly was. We've got one from Dave. Evening. We are top of the league. I think we're going to get a few of them tonight. Mason Ford. Even good. I missed the game due to testing positive. Hopefully I'm COVID-free before Saturday. Fingers crossed. I hope you're all right.
Get well soon.
Evening, lads. How are you doing tonight? From Gordon, doing a lot better of being top of the league. And Dave has put out, said Mickey's mic is quiet. Hopefully it's been rectified. And evening, lads. Hope you're both well, from David Tron. And we've got Jack Banham, friend of the show, Brackley fan, messaged in as well. And actually, I forgot to put this up here. This is I was going to put, this is the new website here. If anyone would like to go and have a little look there, we can put articles up here and advertising commentaries and things like that. So we're going to be adding more to it. And we've got a new email address as well to contact the show out of hours. So if you want to email the show, it is contact@heedarmy.com. That's contact@heedarmy.com. So if anyone wants to get in contact with the show, they can. And Gordon, no, the phone lines are not open tonight.
It's Mike Davey. Is it working?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you're fine. So spot on. Right. Let's get into it, Mickey. I'll put the fantastic. Well, we're going to talk about this in the background when we have the man himself on, Jack McGragan. As I say, the players getting used to him being in the tunnel, hiding there. But what a performance! Yeah. You go to Gateshead FC TV on YouTube and see this is where this footage is from. I say there we go, footage from GFC YouTube. Get yourself on there, like and subscribe to that as well as subscribing to us. But what a performance on Tuesday. Telford, first 90 seconds had my heart in my mouth.
First 20 minutes, to be honest, Dave.
Yeah, they hit us hard, didn't they, at the beginning, and got a great. I mean, it was a great strike for the goal, but we were chasing shadows a little bit around the box at the beginning, weren't we?
Well, we didn't get started. I mean, I sent you the interview from Paul Carden, And I totally agree with what he said. They were the better team for the first 20 minutes. We just couldn't get started. We were closing down. But I always thought once we got one, we'd get more than one, to be fair.
Yeah.
And so it proved. As soon as we got level, it didn't take much longer. And I felt sorry for the big lad at the front there. I think he was number 6 for Hereford. He's
Street.
Theo Street. I felt sorry for that lad. He got rid of Blackett and Langstaff. Come on. I
Yeah.
thought, bloody hell.
But there you go. There he is there, having a chase for Campbell, I think it was there. But yeah, let's see. It's just, obviously they hit us early, got the goal. We had to work to get into it. We had to get into a stride. We had to wait to get into a stride. It was a great strike from Goodridge. But let's say there's some decent strikes from Gateshead players when we got back level. Obviously the goals will be on here in the background, but credit to the fans as well. Fantastic atmosphere as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, never give up. The clothesline are just getting better and better. I'm waiting for the song with Paul Blackett. Like,
have we not got one yet?
I've never heard one.
Oh,
I had a new one for Greg Ollie, but I heard some of it, but I didn't hear.
the challenge has been set then to the clothesline. Let's get a song for Paul Blackett. That was a beautiful save, that as well. There, he made 2 good saves in a short space of time. Did Griffiths, the goalkeeper for Telford?
Striking when Campbell hit the one.
Yeah, it's a good
save
one.
that was.
Yeah, and it's just their Charters as well. Very impressed with that young lad. I mean, he had to switch to left back in the second half, and he didn't look out of place. He adds into what we've already got. I mentioned in the commentary with Mark Rovers that it's just another versatile player, and he slotted into the system very well. Poor Carl Magny had to go off at half time. It looked like he pulled his hamstring halfway through the first half, or maybe 10-15 minutes before the end. And as I say, I don't think he was expected to be playing, to be honest. But as I say, he put a shift in, but as I say, he helped in the build up for one of the goals.
Yeah, he did. Well, I seen when he was running through, and he just seemed to pull up. I don't know if it was the back of his knee or a hamstring.
Hopefully it's nothing serious, just a precaution. Hopefully.
Well, judging by what Louis Story said today, it seems like it's pretty much the same squad. So
yeah, well, I've got what Louis Story said to play out as well, but I want all your messages in as well. I mean, what were your thoughts being there? It was a great atmosphere. The goals were fantastic, and Paul Blackett as well. I mean, in the first 20 minutes, you mentioned Dave. It was a bit of a struggle. The balls up to Paul Blackett weren't the greatest. They were aiming for his head half the time, but when he got the ball to his feet, look what he did. And the first goal was a beautiful, sliding finish. But the build-up play as well was just phenomenal.
Yeah, it was. It was excellent. I mean, to me, the Paul Blackett, he's stocky, but he's not the type of person that's there to hold it up. You slide the ball through for him to run onto.
Yeah,
in my opinion, anyway. And
definitely.
his first goal just epitomised that. That's where Paul Blackett is going to get your goals.
Certainly is. I'm just watching the footage here.
By Kednal, to be fair.
Oh yeah, beautiful. It's a really good one. But I'm just looking at this footage here. We'll be talking about it with Jack. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. It's like Sky Sports stuff, like the way he's documenting things is absolutely beautiful. This is it here. Watch the way he dances around them. Oh, there we go.
Fantastic back heel by Greg Ollie and Army.
Oh yeah, I know. To say this just sublime. I mean, it was hard. I mean, I know it is. I know Paul Blackett got the man of the match, but I thought Hunter was fantastic. Ollie was good.
I thought Tinker was outstanding.
There was a lot of candidates on Tuesday night, and it was just to go top of the league and have the team firing on all cylinders like that, and then we mentioned it shortly. Danny Greenfield back as well. Wow, he looked sharp. He looked fast. He looked and the mid, especially with losing Dan Ward to injury for a few weeks, that's a massive plus having Danny come back into the mix.
It is. It's Dan. Well, we all know how good a player Danny Greenfield is. He's just another string to the bow, and I think it was Mark that said on commentary the midfield options we've got. Let's hope Forbes can get himself fit and stay fit.
Yeah,
because that lad is a Rolls Royce of a player.
it certainly
And
is.
if we can keep him fit, it'll be what? If you can get everyone fit on a match day, I know you can't get everyone fit. There's always going to be little knocks around the team. But add Elliot Forbes, Danny Greenfield, if we can keep Taylor Charters and hopefully get Matty Jacobs signed up till the end of the season. If we can get them two loanees signed up to the end of the season. Said Davey, we've got Magny in who can play at centre half, play full back, got an extra midfielder in. Danny and Elliot Forbes to just make that squad absolutely amazing.
It certainly does. On my cameras, I just had to fiddle with my camera there. That's why I went off the screen. But as I say, it was just you talk about it all the time, that the versatility and the way players are playing, and to get, obviously only 3 players on the bench last night. On Tuesday night, it can be a little bit of a worry when you look at it, because you think it doesn't give you the full options. But we do have that versatility, as we said, and that we can slot players into other places, and Taylor Charters coming into the squad and doing that is, just for that. Pardon me, we've got a message from Liam Burbick. He's put, stuck at work on night shift, headphones in, listening to my weekly fix of the Heed Army podcast. Thank you very much. Telford, good evening, gents. Good gesture from Telford, providing their supporters with vouchers for food and drink on Tuesday night.
For them. Fantastic, that.
It is really good. As I say, both me and you were bigging up the pies to the Telford commentary team as well, weren't we?
I seen one of the Telford fans that had one of the Balti pies, and she was very impressed.
Yeah, I've seen the photo. She even gave a detailed photo of it with the lid off and everything. That's dedication to the pie porn. Absolutely fantastic. We've got another message here from David Tron. Please do, like everyone else, if you want to send a message, send in. That's what we want. Remember, subscribe as well. We've got a load of subscribers this last week. We've had 11 this week. It's been fantastic. What a night on Tuesday night. The atmosphere was amazing. Fair play to Telford. They gave it a go, but eventually the heat was just too strong for them. And it's a transitional team. They've got a new manager. They're bringing in new players. They're not the worst side we've seen at the stadium this year. So yeah, you would imagine they're going to get things happening there. But right,
the midfielder called Baker, I like him a lot. I think he's excellent.
Well, we're just going to play an advert from our sponsors, and we'll be back very, very shortly. Yes, that is how you. That isn't how you like and subscribe. That is what do you call it? That is the sponsors. And
hello, everybody. Remember to like and subscribe and share the show.
I've been warned. I've got to make a new one of them with both Jack and Sophia. So there will be a new one on the way. So if anyone. It's got what to do with that. Just while we're on about subscribers as well, look, there you go. Only 36% of people watching are subscribed. So come on, you get in there, everybody. Get subscribed and help us get more of a algorithm and reach more people. We've got a couple of messages here. We've got one from Mason Ford. What do you think of Luke Charman leaving for Darlow? Leaving Darlow? Yeah, he's signed for, is it Oldham or Rochdale? One of the two. Yeah, it happened today. I think I seen about 5 o'clock. So yeah, it's a big move. He's been scoring a lot of goals for Darlow. It'll be a big blow to Darlow, that. Definitely the way they've been climbing the league. How many minutes has Elliot played in the last 2 seasons? Sorry to say it's injury after injury. Just been unfortunate, hopefully. Definitely a player that if we can get him fit and get him back. I mean, I'll give you an example. John Shaw, when he first came, we didn't get the best of him. He was injury prone, and then all of a sudden he had them goal scoring seasons. So, it can happen to a player and just have an unfortunate run. Look at JJ O'Donnell. That's
was it Roger who said it?
Yeah.
I
Apparently,
appreciate what
it was Rochdale that he went to on a 2.5-year deal.
I appreciate what Roger says, but I think get him fit. He's a fantastic footballer. He's
Nice.
a really, really good footballer. He put a centre half, midfielder going back to centre half. I think he's excellent. I really do.
I'd say you can play in midfield as well. After saying I'm a big fan of him. Right, just having a look at what I've got written down here, just so we can don't miss anything. We'll see we've got Jack McGragan joining us very shortly, and we've got Ross Black joining us later on. So please do get in. And also as well, if you all just joined us, did you enjoy Tuesday night? Did you go down to Hereford as well? Got to listen to the second half of the Hereford game. Sorry, I tell a lie. I got to listen to about a third of the first half as well, about 15 minutes, and we grew into that game, and especially coming away with a 2-0 win down at Hereford, considering the result that they pulled off on Tuesday night against Minster, shows you that what a good result that was. So it is just, it's just another shot in the arm to show you that we're worthy of being up there. Of course, the league table doesn't lie, and when I talk about the league table, I can bring it up here. So there we are at the moment. There is the league table. We're sitting top on 47 points. Brackley, they're just behind us, but Fylde and Chorley, a few points behind. They've got a game in hand though. Kidderminster as well. They've got 2 games in hand. So they can get close, but there's a little pack just starting to pull away a little bit now.
I'm not counting my chickens that high.
Oh no, I'm not counting my chickens, but I mean, you're often. But the thing is, it's nice to be in that pack, because normally we could be like,
we're normally chasing it down.
We're normally, sitting around about 9th or 10th and looking up, going, well, we need to get a run together so these people don't get too far away. Well, we want to get this run together so we can get too far away with the other teams as well. Granted. So yeah, it's looking pretty rosy up there, isn't it, at the moment? But halfway through the season, there's a long way to go. But we have played a lot of the big teams already and won. That's
the thing is, Davey, we've got past 45 points, so we shouldn't get relegated.
Oh no! I think they were pretty safe from that. You would hope so anyway, wouldn't you?
You always want to hit the magic 45, though, didn't you?
I certainly do. Well, before we have Jack join us, a little preview towards Leamington this weekend. This is what Lewis Story had to say on Gateshead FC TV to Jack McGragan. Remember, as we always say, like and subscribe to Gateshead FC TV as well. And this is what Lewis Story had to say in the build-up for the game at the weekend.
Louis, obviously another big game coming up this weekend here at the International Stadium with Leamington visiting this Saturday, but just first off the back of Tuesday night, obviously how the boys looking in terms of their fitness and everything.
The group's in a good place this moment in time. We've put together a couple of good wins and some strong performances as of recent, which is contributing to the position that we're in, and really looking forward to the game on Saturday to build on what we've put in place over the last couple of weeks.
And so in terms of availability and who's sort of available for selection, is it virtually the same as it kind of has been the last couple of games, really?
Yeah, I don't think there'll be much change from Tuesday in terms of selection. There's a couple of players that were just managing their load since the game on Tuesday. Picked up a couple of knocks, but nothing too major, which will change the landscape of selection for Saturday. And hopefully we're going to have a couple of players back adding to that group in the coming weeks or so as well. So as every day passes, we're getting stronger as a group.
And obviously going top of the league with a win on Tuesday, still obviously pretty close up there with Brackley, just a point behind. But in that sort of status phase, does it potentially add something for other teams playing you that it makes you sort of the team to beat in the division in a sense?
I think that's natural from oppositions to have that extra motivation when you're playing top of the table, especially away from home. I think the most important thing is actually what the feeling and what the reaction is in our own group, and ultimately nothing's changed, which is really good. It's only about the next game is the most important game. We've looked at our last 2 games with the performances in the win. We've picked out some good areas of strength that we want to cement as part of our performance and our identity going forward. We've also pointed out some areas that we can continue to work on and strengthen so that we can just keep on evolving. And it's that mentality that we want, which is, you know, it's about the performance, it's about the win on Saturday, and the league table doesn't really come into mind too much for us as a group. We just focus on what we can control, which is we're training and then we're performance come match day.
Obviously at home again on Saturday, Leamington. This time the team coming to visit, they've been on a somewhat rough run of form recently, but are a team who've got a win over yourselves earlier in the season, so definitely not an easy game for you, is it?
Definitely not. You know, we've analysed them today, and we'll look at them again tomorrow and prepare the group for a tough game. They pose some threats that we'll have to deal with, which they give us problems with the same sort of threats. The last time we played them at their place, we had a lot of possession, and we were limited to real goal scoring opportunities. So that's something that, you know, we're aware of and that we've been working on, and it's something that we're going to put right on Saturday, because the boys are in a good run of form, and feeling's good amongst the group, and we're really looking forward to the game. And we know it's a game that if we hit the right levels in terms of our intensity, our energy, that we should get the result that we want.
And in terms of sort of the attacking side of things, obviously the top scoring team in the division at the minute, and in a bit of a unique way, you've got 3 players that have all hit double figures now, with Cole Blackett reaching 10 on Tuesday. I mean, how much confidence does that give you as, you know, sort of coaching staff? You've got players in that kind of form at the top end of the pitch, when maybe in past seasons that's sort of been a struggle for the side a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's really good for the individuals, for Paul, Keds, Maka, you know, AC's chipping in with goals, but creating a lot of goals as well. So as a group of attacking players, it gives them that extra confidence, which can only lead to more goals, no doubt, so that they're more ruthless. They back themselves in them scenarios, in situations in and around the box. From a coaching team, their quality's never been in doubt. You know, we brought them in, or they're at the club because we know what they're capable of, and I must say credit goes to them in terms of they get their goals and they take their opportunities through their quality, but also through hard work. You know, they lead the line for the team really, really well. You know, they allow us to press from the front, to win the ball back as high up the pitch as possible, constantly put the opposition team under pressure, out of possession, stretching the back line, in possession. You know, they've been working on their movements and their patterns, and I'm just really happy that obviously as a collective they're all getting, you know, good goal tallies. AC's chipping there with goals and getting assists for us as well, and it's, you know, it's evidence of a lot of hard work paying off, and long may it continue.
Well, there you go. That was Lewis' story there. It's always good value for interviews. We're going to bring Jack on very, very shortly. He's with us now, but we've got a few messages to read out. Apparently, well, 1 second. I'll read this one first. Elliot is a quality centre-back. Unlucky for the lad of the last couple of setbacks. Definitely agree. This one here, I didn't say this, and I rate him as probably one of the best strikers in the league after our boys, but Harry Cardwell is signed for Southend. So that weakens Chorley's strike force.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a striker, him. To be honest,
big unit now, isn't he?
Playing below his level, definitely playing well. He's went up a level now, but I say that, you know, if you're looking around for positives, that's definitely got to be one. And say we've got 46 goals. Sorry.
I mean, I know you got how much money have they got for these guys like Charman and?
Well, it's a strange one, isn't it? Yeah, right, we couldn't go for this one. What a fantastic save by Chapman in the first half against Hereford. If that had gone in, the result would have been very different. And also, we've got this message here. Keep turning up late for these podcasts, dear me. Well, who wasn't late and he was bang on time? It's Jack McGregor. Hello, Jack. How you doing?
He's all right. How he's doing?
Not too bad, Jack.
All good. Can't complain. Like
I saved a fantastic night on Tuesday. Combination of a lot of hard work, but the hard work isn't over. But just we've had you on a couple of times to talk about your work promoting the club, but the videos that you've been putting up, the little bit behind the scenes, and some of the action shots from pitch side as well, I say it was got a really good reaction in the last couple of days.
Yeah, it seems to have gone down all right. I know it was a bit of a weird time when the pitch side one went out this morning. It was like 10 in the morning when it went out, because I didn't want to sort of put it out too late on a Thursday, because then it's gone after like the Saturday preview stuff. So I feel like it would have felt a bit weird. But
Yeah,
it was like, I don't know, the pitch side stuff, something I've like wanted to do for a little while, but it's more just having like people to do kind of other stuff around. So on Tuesday I was a bit fortunate that Hebben didn't have a game, so Josh was doing the Twitter on Tuesday, so I just went and filmed the stuff from behind the goals, since I didn't have to sort of worry about doing the Twitter at the same time, really.
Yeah, and I've said to you a few times, your footage this year is absolutely beautiful. It doesn't matter if it's interviews or action shots; it's looking absolutely fantastic. Obviously you're in and around the team on a daily basis. I'm guessing that the atmosphere at the minute is quite good.
It's always quite like positive, to be fair. I mean, even after obviously you had like what the Blythe and the Chorley games, it wasn't like, you know, end of the world, we've lost a couple of games, everyone's down and negative and whatever. I think it's more like a thing, it's sort of a mentality that like I think Mike and Busted and that try to sort of breed throughout the team and that, and I think it just kind of rubs off on everyone a bit when they're around the place, like even sort of players who come in, and it doesn't sort of take them too long to kind of settle in, really. But to be fair, ever since I've like been around the club like full time, so like last 3 seasons, it's always been like a positive atmosphere and that type of thing. There's never really been anyone like upsetting the kind of atmosphere of the squad or anything like that. Yeah, couldn't think of what the word was I was trying to go for there.
Stuff like that, trying to go for big words. I try to avoid them now. But let's see, we've got a bit of message there from Joe. Love the side video. Let's see, have you got any others in the works at the moment? Because I know you've done like the Century Club with Greg Ollie and a couple other ones. Have you got anything in mind for your next video?
I want to next week, because we don't have a midweek game next week. I want to try and film like a more of a I don't know if you've ever seen like stuff that like the England account does quite a lot, where they just do like more sort of light-hearted stuff with the players, where they're doing like bits of games and quizzes and stuff like that. Because I think I did one in pre-season with like Adam Cameron and Ryan Bolton, and then at the start of the season I wanted to try and do those sort of every now and again, but then I started doing them insight things instead, and it kind of took all my time up. So I wanted to try and do something like that, or film something like that next week, because there's a bit more time on me hands earlier in the week. So we'll see how that goes, or how long that takes us to do, because you end up filming it and then you sit down to try and edit it, and it takes like way longer than you actually think to do it.
Oh yeah,
surely you've got to do something about the Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Have you not seen the picture that?
Yeah.
He put all the strikers in heads on the Fantastic Four.
I don't think I've seen it.
So I think Mickey's trying to get you to make a Marvel superhero movie with them now. Of course, you're always very busy throughout the season. I know that, especially on a match day. And obviously, we had the massive game, the FA Cup game, and I would imagine things were just manic around that time. I know the press was just there in force, the TV and everything. Was that enjoyable once it was over, or did you get to enjoy any of it during it?
I think it was quite manic for, well, I mean, literally after we won the Ulti replay, there was like people sending emails in literally like on the bus on the way back at like 11 o'clock. I was thinking like this is going to continue for like 2 weeks up to the Charlton game, but it was more this. I know I listened to like Daniel Wales, who's did the commentary with you before. He did like an interview with Rory Mitchinson that used to do the club's press stuff back like around, I think maybe just after the Wembley season or something. Yeah. And then he was sort of going on about the third round game against West Brom and the kind of coverage off that and how it all kind of ramped up. It was sort of similar with that to the Charlton game in a sense. I mean, it's the first time since I've been here that we've had like a live TV coverage. So there was a lot of stuff from ITV and sort of them asking like, oh, can we do this and can we do that? And them like coming in and setting cameras up, and
Yeah.
they had like their 2 massive floodlights attached on the side of the ground and all sorts. But like even just like pre-match, like in the week leading up to it, you had a lot of sort of interview requests and stuff like that from press who you wouldn't usually hear from, because it's a bit more of a story. So it was just a lot busier in terms of sorting like accreditation out and interviews and stuff like that, really.
That's fantastic. And I mean, I know you would have seen I did any viewers might have seen I did the 3D footage for the goal. That took a lot of editing to do, by the way. What a pain. Yeah, and but did you notice the drone that was up on the Charlton game?
The drone.
Yeah.
What, ITV? The one ITV had up?
Yeah.
I think I only noticed it was there when I like watched, like, I don't know, like the day after, or a couple of days after or something. I just watched like the build up out of curiosity, because obviously they came in to do that thing with Mike and Louis where they were in the dressing room for a bit. Yeah. So I was curious to see like how long that was or what they'd actually filmed and stuff like that. And then I saw like pre-match they had a drone flying over the stadium that, to be honest, I hadn't actually noticed, I don't think, when the game was on.
Because obviously I know like most of the people at the match are watching on telly, but the people that were listening to us on the commentary for that, halfway through the game, I said to Mark, I think we're under an alien invasion here, because I was doing like a purple and blue light.
Sparkly light.
Oh man!
Are you going to invest in a drone then, Jack?
I don't have enough money for that. They're expensive.
Right,
I spent enough money on my camera.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you the story about a drone, right? You know, when lockdown first happened, I was looking online and I seen one, and it was like a good brand, but like the budget version. And I thought, oh, I could get some footage with that, you know, like football, like along the stand, and the fans are, you know, when it's full. Anyway, so I bought it. I tested it in the house. It nearly took my wife's head off, and she said, "Go outside of it." Right, literally had just bought it, and I crashed it on the neighbour's roof straight away. all the neighbours come out and had a laugh at us, and then like the manliest neighbour in the street who had ladders goes, "I'll go up and get it for you." So I go up and get it. So I had broke it, and then I said to my wife, "I'm gonna have to test it," and she had a hold of it, and she goes, "Don't press it yet," and I didn't. I nearly took her finger off, so she didn't keep us for a few days in lockdown with that. So don't buy a drone. Don't buy a drone. But yeah. But no, that's to say it's an exciting season so far. You know, there's a lot happened. We've got the FA Cup, but we're only halfway through it, and it doesn't feel like we're only halfway through. It feels like we're a good chunk through, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a. I think it probably be a part of it's probably because last season I think I was having a look the other day, and I think we only played like 14 games or something last season before it got cancelled. So it's like you were having that many weeks last year where like games would just get called off, so you wouldn't have a game for like 2 weeks, and it was all just a bit weird. But I think it's basically smack bang midway through the season now. I think we're just on 21 now, so long way to go yet. And I mean, there isn't. Well, I'd be surprised if anyone is going to be like a runaway in terms of the league, at least. I mean, you've got like what at the minute there's like us, Brackley, Fylde, Kidderminster still got a few games in hand, and they'd be like right up there. Chorley have been doing quite well recently. Southport, I don't think I've lost for about 12 games.
Yeah.
So it's like there's quite a lot of teams at the top end that are doing quite well. I'd imagine it'll be quite tight.
Certainly is, and of course with the news that we just found out there that obviously Charman's left Darlington. They were on a good run trying to get into the playoffs, very close, and then obviously Chorley's striker and Cardwell leaving. It really you know mixes up the broth a little bit more, doesn't it? It adds a lot more dimensions. But talking about our lads, obviously we're the highest goal scorers in the league, and to have three strikers scoring, Adam Campbell chipping in as well. Four strikers finding the back of the net regularly is I don't think I've ever known the likes at Gateshead. It must be quite exciting for you for all the photos and videos that you edit.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier for me to do stuff when we're scoring and doing well, so it makes my life a bit easier. But I mean, it's like comparing it to sort of last couple of seasons, it's always felt like, I don't know, we've had sort of like one person who's been like the main sort of goal scorer, whereas like this season, like say literally Blackie getting 2 on Tuesday means you've got 3 that are all in double figures, and then there's a few that are kind of chipped in with a few off the back of that as well. So it's like you don't feel as if, say, if one of them got injured or something and was out for a couple of weeks, you wouldn't be thinking of like, Jesus, where the goal's going to come from, because there's that many other people who have been scoring regardless.
Yeah, and just another one, Mr. Luke as well. Thank you very much for your message. Marcus Carver leaving Southport as well. So there's a lot of teams have lost a bit of goal power. So I say it just adds to the story about what's going to happen this season, and we're looking forward to it unfolding. And as I say, Jack, we look forward to seeing what comes out next, what things you bring out forward. And say thank you very much, and keep up the good work. Thank you for joining us again.
Cheers. Thanks a lot, lads.
Again, man. Keep seeing what you're doing, Jack. You're doing a great job, mate.
Cheers. Thanks a lot, Mickey.
Cheers, thank you. Bye.
Cheers.
We'll go there. We'll go, Jack. Absolutely fantastic to have him on, and nice to give him a bit of a mention, because he does a lot of fantastic work. Right.
Credit.
Yeah, well, as I say, we want you down on a match day, and as I say, we do enjoy doing a commentary, but it's better being at the game. So please do get down. And when we come back from this next little video, we'll be with Ross Black. Well, I don't know what happened at the end of that video. The Gator badge was supposed to be behind it, so I don't know what's happened there. But from things looking bad to things looking beautiful, Ross is with us now. How are you doing?
Hi, lads. You all right? I'm doing well.
Well. Not better now, Ross?
Oh, a lot better, thank you.
Good. See, we had the lads on from Inspired and the team last week, and things are looking very positive from the foundation. Another string to the bow with the club with that team being introduced. But we spoke to, obviously, the lads, and there's a lot of work to be done to get that team to the Costa Blanca. Is there anything that you want to add in the way fans can get involved to help with getting them there?
Yeah, so luckily enough, I met the lads today. So we had another meeting with the club and the foundation ourselves, Inspired. We've got now in place 2 bucket collections for upcoming home games. So they'll be announced when it's all set in store. So that'll be good. So the lads as well who will be involved in the tournament will be there. So you can chat to the lads when you're on the way in the ground, inside the concourse area. I'm sure you'll see them. It'll be good just to get them familiarised with the rest of the fan base, because they are going to be another Gateshead FC team out there. We're going to have a big push on player sponsorship, as if like the normal first team does, and the ladies team. So you can sponsor a player once the teams are announced. That'll be another big way. We've had talks about potentially doing a 24-hour football match.
Yeah, that was mentioned last week. That'd be
good if we could get that streamed as well, so you can donate whilst watching the stream. That was something we talked about today, which we would hope to get involved in. And from a foundation point of view, we're all going to be doing. It's not just a one-off thing. We're hoping to take this further so that we can compete under the Gateshead FC banner in Britain, in leagues, in competitions with fellow disability teams up and down the country. And I feel like this is just the start of things to come, hopefully.
To say that I'll just say this and then Mickey just to say it's another string to the bow. We would say how far we've come in such a short space of time since we all know what happened. To have a ladies team and now moving on to having this and having a disability team is just showing you how much the club is growing and reaching out.
100%. Like I say, we'll get on the other stuff with the foundation as well after we speak about Inspired, but it's great that they felt comfortable to come on board with the foundation and the club. We're building relationships there that are going to take the club to the next level. And I think we're learning as a club that we are a hub of the community. And I feel like since we've become fan-led and local business-led. It's really had that feel to it, which, of course, I've always had a great relationship when like Graham Wood was in charge. This time we've got to go out there and do it ourselves. And I feel like as a foundation, and a shout out to the trustees as well who work non-stop to get these links and make sure that these links are out there. And I feel like we're getting to a point now where we're starting to see a bit of growth and the name's out there a lot more. And I think that coincides with the feeling inside the stadium as well. Even before results flew up at the start of the season, it did feel a much more community feel to things. And you do, what I notice as well on a match day is you do see a lot more families there now. And I feel like with the work the foundation's doing, the club's doing, and just the overall match day experience, that can be a good way to start, seeing all the young lads and lasses coming to see the Gateshead and hopefully being the number one team is what you want.
Definitely.
I mean, midweek games, we always struggled. Nearly 900 there on Tuesday. I think the previous Tuesday we had a game was something similar, and getting over 1,000 on a Saturday. So things are starting to go up, and that's got to have something to do with the community-based theme in the club. It's got to have, in my opinion, it does anyway.
Yeah, I think it works hand in hand. I think if you're inside the community as well and enjoying the football club, then it comes to a point where you want supporters there that aren't going to come just when we're doing well. Because at the moment, we've got to capitalise on the good performances we are doing, but we've also got to build a platform where the services we're doing in the community is then reflected in fans being brought on. So that would be one for the future.
I mean, obviously, when the foundation got put in place, it coincided with the pandemic starting, and it was kind of I'm not going to say baptism of fire, but the foundation was maybe drawn into things that it didn't think it was going to be drawn into. And I know it wasn't done for a PR side, but it goes a long way when people on social media was seeing Ben Clark, the Gateshead tops out there, people doing things in the club, being seen to be active in helping the community when it wasn't about the football, it was about the community and everyone around here, and to make sure everyone was all right. And also on a mental health front as well, with the phone number that was out there. There was so many strings to that bow that were tied up straight away and were put into action that maybe you would think could probably take a little while. I think it put the foundation in a light that maybe elevated it a little bit quicker than what it would have just, reaching out initially. It got knee deep into the community right at the beginning.
Yeah, 100%. Like even just before the pandemic, we were lucky enough to get links with the Gateshead Food Bank, and before one of the home games, we had a big, massive food collection. And I don't think we knew how big it was going to take off and how well the fan base would respond, and the Gateshead Foundation would, the food bank, were over the moon with how much food was brought in by the fan base. They said it was huge, and that's one thing we are still going to do. We had 3 dates slotted in, and due to COVID and the FA Cup and that, we haven't managed to get that done yet. But that's definitely one thing we're going to be doing upcoming. And there's a few things, like Ben and doing such a good job, and the other coaches are on board. We're now in 6 schools in the Gateshead area.
So it's fantastic. I know that was always a big thing ever since I've been a Gateshead fan, the club wanting to get into schools, and whether it was a case of getting it done or not having the resources to get it done, having it now in place is just, as I say, we keep saying it, there's so many positives at the moment, and but it all goes down to the hard work of the people behind the foundation, people like yourself and the trustees.
Yeah, the whole trustees, I list them all off, but they probably wouldn't want a thing, but the work they do, behind the scenes, they put in the hard yards, the tender meetings, they apply for grants, they get things done. Like I say, the Walton football sessions, they've been very successful. We've got 4 on now in the area.
We're not selling out. Every time you look, they're full.
Yeah, they're very busy. And the good thing is for me is we're getting different people in of all ages for the open ones, and then the select ones, we're getting people who are coming in for the first time maybe, and they're feeling comfortable. And the good thing for me was I seen 2 people who were seeing the Walton football then in the crowd. You know what I mean? And it's something that you hadn't. It's all about one community and one big fan base, and that's what getting people out there, getting healthy. Having exercise, walking football, And I know it's just walking, it sounds silly, but when you do it, it's tough, you know. It's not easy. Yeah,
You don't have
junior,
Especially if your first touch is as bad as mine.
but yeah, the junior heat club as well. You'll notice that's on again this Saturday. You know, so for any young kids who are massive Gateshead fans, or even if they're not, you know, they just want to play football. They get a good coaching session with Ben. You know, I've seen him work. He's brilliant at what he does. And that's on every Saturday. You know, you can just go on our website, the Gateshead Foundation website, and you can register there and get that done before match day on a Saturday. So the kids can go have a training session with Ben and then hopefully come watch the lads at 3 o'clock, you know. And when I was a kid, you know, we went, I just turned up the matches and I had that on top, you know, it'd be brilliant. And I feel like that would be, for the young Heat Army coming through, that would be perfect.
It is. It's as I say, you mentioned that the club's planting seeds, and we're starting to see things flourish from that. And that's, someone might be watching now and going, well, it was only 2 people come along. But if you're doing that each month, each year, it keeps building up and building up. And as I say, I just think the I'm trying to think of the word. The reputation of the club now is so much better because of this hard work that's been done in the community. And you'll know as a Gateshead fan, when people ask you, you know, as a Gateshead fan, that I've had people ask us about it because they've seen it, and it's like, well, that's great. That's what it's doing its job. It's doing its purpose.
100%. And I feel like little stuff. One thing we are doing is working with local charities in Bensham, so we're not just in one set area of the whole town. We're in different parts. So we're in Bensham to provide football coaching for underprivileged and struggling families to ensure that they've got the facilities to do that and they're getting the proper coaching. They're not left out. And that was one of the big things as well. You see, with our soccer camps, we ensured that it was open to all, and it wasn't just a select few, you know. And I feel like that's very important. We've got to be inclusive, and we can't discriminate. You know, that's one thing. No matter where you're from, who you are, you know, you're welcome, no matter what level it Gateshead. And I think the foundation reflects that perfectly.
Well, if you ever want anything pushed for the foundation, please do get in contact with us, and we'll try and make videos for that. I've got a few messages here for Ross, but we've got one here from Cow Daly. Absolutely tremendous what's happening at the club on and off the pitch in the community. You all deserve tremendous credit up the Heed. And talking about a bit of credit, you turned into a hero up at Blythe. Let's see what we've got here. Well done, Ross. The Blythe game. Caroline as well. Well done, Ross. Great response. And Mr. Luke as well has done the same. I say, you know, I don't think anyone ever goes to a match thinking they'll have to jump on the pitch to stop play because someone's went down. But, you know, it takes a bit of guts to have the to be forthright and do it. And major credit to you, and thankfully the fella's all right.
Yeah, the fella's all right. That's the main thing, you know. I just it just feels a bit weird. It was just instinct. It was nothing special to me, you know what I mean? And I know I look back at it and probably think, Christ, I just ran on the pitch. I don't know how I got over the fence, to be honest. I think that was the main thing everyone was shocked at.
I couldn't believe the turn of pace, to be honest. Was that soft? I thought you were going to stick.
Honestly, that pitch is heavy, man. That is heavy pitch.
Is that why you were blind at the end, is it?
Yeah, so I didn't fully get over to the didn't even make it fully over to the dugout. But no, I'm just glad, you know, a fellow Heat fan is all right, you know what I mean? And that's the main thing, because you've seen some scary stuff lately, and a good outcome. Yeah, that's the main thing.
Definitely.
For 6, God knows what it's done to you.
A bit of a shock, but like I say, at the end it was all right, and that's the main thing.
I mean, one little funny thing we can take from it is if Bernard McWilliams had put a post about, you know, because obviously passionate derby game, you know, telling people don't jump on the pitch if we score and things like that. And I think Bernard got a heart attack when he seen someone run on the pitch because, oh no, it's Ross, I'm going to have to ban him.
Well, that would be my luck, wouldn't it? Flying top of the league and I get banned after watching.
Yeah. even the steward was going to throw you out.
I know, even at the end, to be fair to Nicky Dowdix, you know what I mean? I know he's Blythe player, I know, but he even said to the steward, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's crackers, but
I just put Robbie Taylor now.
Yeah, Robbie, and then obviously at the Gateshead bench, you know, Chrissy Bell was straight up, and he was there straight away, didn't mess about. But it was just a good response by everyone. Just
Yeah, and
next time we'll have 3 points off them. That would be nicer.
Would be. But thankfully, we're all sitting here smiling at the end of the day.
I want to ask Ross something now. On the subject of getting younger fans in. You remember the Heed Youth? It was you and was it Andy and all them?
To be fair, you probably see on the clothesline on Tuesday, there's a massive contingent of young fans coming through, and you see it on social media as well a lot. You know, a lot of young lads who are just coming to Gateshead. And one good thing is obviously you've seen the academy setup we've got. And a lot of these young lads who are playing under the Gateshead FC Academy banner are then coming to watch Gateshead on a Saturday because they've got access to it. And I feel like that's massive for building us going forward. I think it just happens a bit more organically now, whereas back in the day it was literally you go at the match and that was it. Whereas now we've got other elements of the club, like the foundation, the academy, where it helps grow it that way. And I feel like that builds the links a bit stronger and it's a bit more stable.
Yeah, the
growing a fan base.
Yeah, the proof's in the pudding when you look at the attendances this season. You know, we're averaging over 1,000, which is just fantastic, and it just shows you how well things are working. But I'll say just before we let you go, Ross, big game on Saturday against Leamington. I'm going to put you on the spot and ask for a prediction.
Oh, I don't know why, but I hate playing Leamington.
Yeah, I was saying that with Telford last night. On Tuesday night when they scored. I was like, oh no, here we go. Like
everybody thought when that goal went in, oh, we've done a Gateshead.
Yeah.
We've done a Gateshead.
It's like no therapy all over again.
The first thing I texted my dad before the match, I was saying, I just hope Gateshead don't do a Gateshead. And then 1 minute in, we're 1-0 down. I was like, oh, we've done a Gateshead. But
tell you what,
to be fair, I was at home. I'd fancy us against anyone. I know Chorley did a job on us, but I'd argue that's the worst we've played, and we still probably deserved a point with the chances we had.
I'll argue.
It could be like that, so but
I didn't get to listen to it. I don't know if there was any commentary, obviously, but like, it was one of them. It was one of the games I feared, because obviously Chorley had that fantastic FA Cup run last year. They managed to keep most of that squad together. Of course, they've lost Caldwell today.
Just want to say that could be a big bonus for us.
Definitely, and as I say, there's a few strikers. Obviously, the one at Southport who's went to Hartlepool. Then you've got the other one. So the teams that were chasing us or are chasing us, they've lost a bit of firepower, which can't be a bad thing. But we'll just have to see how that goes. But
just got to do our job on Saturday as well, because we know at least one of Brackley and Chorley will be dropping points playing each other.
Yeah.
Then on Tuesday it's Fylde v Chorley in their games in hand.
I know.
So they've both got games in hand on us, but it's against each other, so that's the main thing.
It's an intriguing couple of fixtures coming up, isn't it? What was your prediction there? Did you say it, or did I miss it?
No,
he tried to get rid of it.
I'd go the Richie Gillis good bet 3-1.
3-1. Right, we'll go through.
That's what I'll go for.
Yeah, he's got 2-0 on Saturday. I think I'm going to go with 3-1 as well.
It's a good bet.
We've always got a silly one in us, so I'll go 2-1 because I fancy 3-1 myself, but these two have said 3-1, so I'll see a 2-1.
Oh well, Mickey's going to make it a little bit tighter, a little bit more.
just make us all nervous going into the last few minutes.
Well, Ross, thank you very much. We'll have you on again soon. Please do contact us for anything you want to push, and we'll have you on, or we'll make an advert for you and push anything that's happening with the foundation.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. Just keep an eye on all our social media and you'll see things going out in the next few months, because we've got loads of things planned coming up going into summer, so that'll be great.
Oh, fantastic. Okie dokie then. Well, we'll see you later on, Ross.
Cheers, guys. Bye now.
Well, we've only got a few minutes left, but we'll keep going because we've still got things to talk about, Mickey. We've got GFC ladies. They've got a game eventually on Saturday or Sunday, hopefully.
Sunday, they've got Chester Street Amazons at home. 2:00 kick-off if you want to come down and support the lasses. Apparently there's a few signings relatively imminent.
Are you hearing things on this infamous grapevine?
I am, but nothing's confirmed yet. But it'll be absolutely fantastic to see the lasses play again.
Definitely.
I was down watching Mickey Gray's Bolton play against Concert the other day, just to get into the habit of watching the lasses again. It's been pretty frustrating for the lasses.
Yeah.
Starting to some of the girls down there.
Well, hopefully, we'll get some of the. We'll hopefully get the manager on as well, Simon, and get a few of the players on as well in the coming weeks once they get back into the swing of things. So yeah, as I say, I think we've got everything here. Well, obviously, just if you're just joining us or you've come in late, you may have not have seen that we do have a new website now, heedarmy.com. So if you want to go on there and have a little follow, but so you kind of follow, just bookmark it. But what we want you to do is like and subscribe. We've had loads of subscribers lately. It's fantastic. We've got over 152, so it's doing really well. But we know 60% on subscribers who watch. So go on, hit that subscribe button. Help us try and get more people watching, get the algorithms going, because we do have. I think we've had over 2,500 hours watched this last month, which is fantastic. You know, people are watching, but we want to get more people watching.
We're fans listening to your comedy as well, aren't you?
Yeah. Big thank you as well to everyone. I mean, we had I think we had Paul listening in Lanzarote. We had Michael Hood and Jan listening in Tenerife. We got interrupted in the middle of the commentary to give them a shout out. We had Dean Seaver listening in Atlanta, Georgia. We had Charlotte Potts listening from Switzerland. I would imagine we had the chairman in Estonia. So we had people all over. It was a really international flavour. And we just thank everyone for it. But if you are listening in your local, get down. Nothing beats it. That's where you want to be, at the game. So, but if you are having to isolate though, or you're ill, we'll be there for you on Saturday. I'm going to be joined by Dan Ward on commentary this Saturday as well. So he's out with injury, but we're going to put him to work on the microphone on Saturday. So that should be really good. Yeah. And also as well, sorry, what was that, Mickey?
Hopefully you can find out some of the crack.
Oh, we'll find out some secrets from him. And GSA ladies are playing Chesley Street Amazons. Is that right, Mickey? On Sunday?
Yeah. 2 o'clock.
There we go.
2 o'clock kick-off. If you can get yourself down, come down.
Definitely. And as I say, in case Debbie Bailey tuned in late, happy birthday. There you are with your giant fishbowl.
So she can bring a giant fishbowl and watch the lads on Saturday and the lasses on Sunday.
There we go. That's what you want to do. And treat yourself to
a schooner for a Sunday dinner afterwards.
Well, what more could you want? And on the Saturday as well, why not treat yourself to go into the corporate as well? So we'll push it all. Push it all. Everyone, I'm sure.
With Debbie on the clothesline leading the singing.
Well, yeah, and then we'll get her on the podcast next week. I said because she was on the BBC. That was another thing we've mentioned. If anyone had seen that, it's on BBC iPlayer. Owen Bailey. Good interview. Not much about Gateshead footage. Sadly, I thought they might have showed his goal, but I don't know when it was recorded, so he might not have scored before when that was recorded. But it would have been nice to put a bit of Gateshead footage in. But they say the Baileys were there in force, his brother, his mum and dad, so it's fantastic. So she's got no excuses now. She's been in front of the big cameras. She can be in front of the little ones now. So it'd be great to have her on, and we're going to get Meg on as well. So
we're going to try and get Meg on.
I'll get her on. Don't you worry. I'll get her on.
But on that, I meant to ask Jack. She wants. Now I showed you that Macaulay pic today.
Yeah.
She wants to win a Kedwin.
Oh, celebrating like that. She wants the glory shot, does she?
She wants a picture like that with her Kedwin.
Oh well, there we go. I'm sure we could arrange one, Mickey, if just us two put arms up in front of the stand.
Well, if she was gonna hang it on the fence to scare the dogs and the cats from going in the garden, maybe so.
That would be the way to do it. But anyway, thank you very much to everyone that's tuned in tonight and messaged in. It really does help the show. It's all about, remember, tell your friends, tell everyone that you sit with at the match. Just say, tap a stranger. Do you watch the Heat Army podcast? Get them on. And we'll have loads more people talking. Get them down to the match. That's well, say the people that are sitting around you. We've got here, one last thing. We'll go with this one, a little bit of local news. Mason Falls, but what do you think of Kevin Phillips being the new Shields manager? High caliber, good look, high caliber, but just the only question mark I would say is does he understand the level? I know he played non-league, but that was like 28 years ago, so or more. A lot's changed, and what will he expect from his players, and what can he get from his players? That's the thing. But a new manager has an effect, and there's certainly another chance. But I think that's what we'll see about that, and so. Let's see.
I still think it was harsh on Graham Fenton, but Who am I to talk? I don't watch Shield, so.
Yeah, and we don't like Graham Fenton. So anyway, on that note, once a Spartan, always a Spartan. That's how he's still getting paid, didn't worry. Right. On that note, we will see you on Saturday for the commentary, and we'll see you next week for the next show. Mickey, thank you very much as ever, and
I'll see you Saturday, bud.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.